Hello everyone, welcome to the Travel Coach, moving body, mind and spirit. My guest today is a language coach, author and speaker living in Sweden. Her native language is Russian, but she speaks 4 foreign languages. She's passionate about helping people to speak languages with fun and ease, while creating a lifestyle of adventure, joy and connection worldwide. Anastasia, welcome to the Travel Coach.
Hi everyone, thanks for having me here.
Thanks for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you on board today, Anastasia. My first question for you is about your relationship with travel growing up. Can you tell us a bit more about that phase of your life, please?
Yeah, absolutely. I started traveling very young. I don't know how old I was, maybe 3 or 4 years old. We did road trips to my grandparents in Russia every summer. And it's about 1.5 days of driving.
Wow. So this is the memory you had, the road trip to see
Yeah, and I love road
family.
trips. I love road trips, yes.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So you were saying when I introduced you that you speak 4 foreign languages, right? So your native language is Russian. You are now living in Sweden. How did you arrive there? What
Yes.
moves did you do, and the languages you learn in your changes of countries?
Yeah, so first of all, I started my second language is English. I started studying English when I was at the preschool. So I was about 5 years old when I started studying English. But I couldn't speak all the time. I learned speaking years later. Then right after school, I moved to Czech Republic because I had a goal to study at the university there. So I just got to study Czech to be able to study. So this is how I learned Czech. And then after that, I moved to Sweden. And here I've lived now for 9 years.
Wow, absolutely amazing. And you must have like a facility or maybe passion as well. Why do you think you are so good on languages?
I think it's my mindset because I don't focus on the difficulties. And of course, I do have many difficulties. I still remember my first book in Swedish that I read. It was a fairy tale for kids. And I was sitting there and crying because I couldn't understand anything. But I didn't let it stop me. And I kept going.
Yeah, it's about mindset. That's important. And you were saying your background is in banking. And now you are a language coach, right? So can you tell me a bit more about your life when you were working in the banking?
Yeah, so I had 2 different jobs in a bank, and those are 2 completely different experiences because my first job, it was very flexible and we could work evenings and weekends, and we could take off when we wanted, like in the middle of a week, we could plan our schedule, and we had very interesting things to work with. It was travel related. We helped our customers abroad who needed emergency services like emergency cash or to send a new card to them abroad. So it was fun. It was fun. I loved it. And then there was another job on the other side of that within banking, but it was 9 to 5, sitting in an office Monday to Friday, and that was not my thing at all.
Totally different experience.
And nothing to do with traveling.
Yeah. Yeah, totally different experience. And I know that part of this change, right, it's started when you decided to do a trip to Germany.
Yeah.
What happened there? What was the decision you had to make, and why did you go to Germany?
So I have 2 young kids, and it was 2 years ago, so my kids were even younger back then, and 2 young kids, work, home, and I was longing for a little bit more adventure in life because I just have this calling. I love traveling and having friends worldwide, and someday I just felt like I want to go somewhere. And because I had this flexible job, I could plan my schedule. It made it possible for me to plan for days to go on a trip. And I was sitting there like, okay, where do I go? And then all of a sudden I was like, well, I have relatives in Germany. I've never visited them. I've never met them. I'd love to meet them. So yeah, this is where I went.
And did you decide to go on your own, or did you bring the kids with you?
I went alone, and
What were the,
I never talked to them. I never seen them. My parents were in contact with them, and we like our families did not have contact for many years, and we have recently reunited. So our parents just started talking. So it was very beautiful,
yeah,
actually.
yeah, it's like you never heard about, well, you heard, but you never had contact with them. And
That's
you
right.
suddenly, how was the process? I mean, you contact them, reach out, you call them, hey, I want to visit you. How did you initiate all this process?
Yeah, I talked to my parents because they had a contact. So I said I would love to go to Germany to visit our relatives. Do you think you can connect us? So my mom, she called let's call her aunt for simplicity. It's like she is my father's cousin, but we can call her aunt for simplicity. So my mom connected with her and asked if it was okay if I could come and visit, and it was okay. Then we connected, we had a chat, and I was like, yeah, absolutely, come and visit. So I booked it. So I booked a ticket, and like 1 or 2 weeks later, I went to visit.
Wow. So it was like a decision.
Yeah.
Were any challenges, like any fears that you had to overcome to make this happen?
Oh yeah, a lot like a lot of unknown. Like I didn't know anything. I only knew I've never been there to the city. It was Hamburg. I've never been there. I've never met them. Like I knew that my parents were in contact and they seemed to be were nice people, but we have never met in person. Um, I was supposed to stay at their place. Um, so it's like it is family and parents talk to them, so everything was arranged. But still, you never know. We've never met in person, so I just got to trust.
And what do you think? Because you said there was the call to adventure, maybe the routine, the family, the stress of the day life, the 9 to 5 job, right? All this. So, how do you think that happened? That you made this decision, even though the fears you had and the challenges you had to overcome. Would you say that your motivation was bigger than the fears, or how would you put this in a sentence that, yeah, I did it because that, or I overcame my challenges because this was what I wanted?
Yeah, absolutely. I saw bigger rewards than fears and challenges.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you booked the trip, you arrived there. What happened? How many days? Did you know how many days you're gonna be there, or?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I knew. I think it was. I can't remember exactly. It was 3 or 4 days.
Oh, okay. It was like a short visit.
Yeah.
Okay, what happened when you arrived there?
My aunt met me at the airport. She had flowers, so it was so cute.
Oh, sweet.
It was very. It felt very warm. And then when we came home, she had dinner ready, and she cooked some Russian dishes for me. So it felt like home.
Yeah, to make you feel like home.
Yeah.
But
I felt welcomed, and it was a very warm feeling.
was she living alone, or also she had a family?
She was alone at that moment, but normally she has a son living with her, but at that moment he was traveling somewhere else. So he was not at home.
So did you go for sightseeing, or did you just research something and went on your own? How was your experience in the
Yeah,
place?
so we went together for sightseeing and just having time together the day after because I arrived in the evening. So we spent together the whole day, and then she also got to work. So the day after, I had like half a day for myself. So I went and explored the city all by myself.
What was the most beautiful thing or beautiful experience you had, or something that you remember that was special?
I just had this warm feeling and being at home. And I've never been to the city before. I've never met those people before, but it felt like home. And also, my aunt, she had another son who I got to meet and his family. And he was born in Russia, but they moved to Germany when they were young. So his native language is Russian, but his most active language is German. So he's like almost native in German. And it felt so special for me to have relatives who have German as their native language.
Yeah.
It just
But
was like mind blowing.
you were speaking in Russian between you.
Yeah, I could speak some German, so it was like a mixture of Russian and German.
Okay, okay. So you could understand.
Yeah.
What would you say it happened? Was like you said you felt very welcome, you felt all the love and support. What would you think was the thing that clicked or changed for you? Why this trip was so life-changing?
It was a challenging period of my life. There were some things that didn't work in my personal life, and I was thinking a lot. And when I had this trip, and it just helped me to connect to the feeling that I was seeking, a feeling of being welcomed and feeling at home. And there was a moment when we went to visit let's call them my cousin and his family. And they fixed coffee with some candy, and we were sitting and chatting. Now my call him cousin. He comes up to me and gives me a cup with the coffee, and I was like, "Yeah, thank you so much." And then I look at the cup, and it said, "Follow your dreams."
Yeah.
I even posted it on my Instagram. It has this beautiful picture that said "Follow your dreams," and I even checked. There was only one cup like this in the house. It's not that I had a set of the same cups. And it was so special for me because my cousin gave me this cup. And as I said, that his native language was German and my native language was Russian. And I love German language because it's my roots. So it just felt so special.
You felt like it was like a sign?
Definitely. Definitely.
So you said you were going through challenges situation at that time. How this message help you to change things?
So it just was a confirmation for me that what I was feeling inside about the things that didn't work, that I got to trust those feelings. And if something doesn't work, I get to listen to myself and move on and follow my dreams.
Do you think, Anastasia, if somebody, your cousin or some other family member, gave you this cup with the message when you were in your hometown, would you have the same impact on you?
No, no.
Why do you think is that?
It would have an impact, but not the same, because it wouldn't feel just this trip. It was so special for me because I just love German language. I don't know why. I don't have any special reason for that. I just love how it sounds, and it's almost like a meditation for me. I literally ask my friend of mine from Germany record voice messages for me, and I listen to her voice, and it sounds like meditation for me. I just love it for some reason. And me going to this beautiful city where I feel like home, meeting my relatives, like reconnecting to the relatives who I never met before. This whole experience was very special. And having relatives who speak German as their native language, it was just the whole environment was very special. And then getting this cup with the message, it was just like, wow.
Yeah, something you're out of your routine, familiarity, everything like
Yes.
magnifies a bit more, right?
Yeah.
And you are,
So when if I went home to my parents, it wouldn't feel special that I feel like home, because it is my home, right? I've been there, I've lived there, so it is my home. I know that. But when you go to a completely different country, meet people you've never met before, and you feel like home, this is special.
very well put, yeah. Yeah. What did you learn about yourself in that trip?
I get to trust myself. trust myself, my own guidance, and it's like planet Earth is my home.
So you stay there 4 or 5 days. This happened, right? You had this breakthrough moment. And then you say goodbye, you went back home, but you didn't go to the old pattern or old routine. You changed something.
Definitely.
What happened?
Definitely. I made a decision to get divorced and move on, because it was just very clear for me that that relationship didn't work, because there were different goals in our lives, and we didn't have much in common any longer. So it was just so obvious for me that I get to move on. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't an easy decision.
So what do you think it gave you the strength, or the certainty, and you were very certain of that? Was because that moment, that message was so powerful that you just...
It's the whole trip. Yes, it's the whole trip. And also disconnecting from the energy that I experienced when I was at home, and disconnecting from that and traveling somewhere else and connecting to that experience where I felt loved and connected, and this magical city and German language. It pulled me out of my problems in my everyday situation, and that contrast helped me to see clearly how my life looked, and what worked, what didn't work, and what I get to do.
That's the thing, yeah. That's the thing. So you need to step away from your life to look at it with perspective, right? Like when you are inside, you cannot see. You need to step away, you look at it and you say, okay, this does not feel right. I need to change something. You got this clarity, yeah? Yeah. So you got divorced and you changed jobs as well, right?
Yeah, this is when I changed job to 9 to 5, because I got to take care of the kids. And if I'm single, I can't work evenings and weekends. So I get to have normal office hours. That's why I changed.
It's a lot of changes in a short period of time.
Yeah.
And you just needed 4 days for that, 4 days trip to do all this.
Yeah. I also moved out to a new apartment. So they were amazing.
And this was like a couple of years ago?
2 years ago.
How do you feel now when you look? You look backwards. They say you can't connect the dots only looking backwards. How do you feel when you look backwards at that situation, and how far did you arrive, all the changes you did for yourself, how brave you were to make these decisions? How do you feel now looking backwards?
Yeah, it all makes sense. It all makes sense. And I'm so grateful for this trip. And I totally see how it helped me to get this clarity and confidence, and just to experience the magic that I was missing in my life.
Yeah. Wow, that was super impressive, Anastasia. This that short period of time you got this clarity and this confidence to make these big changes and transformation in your life. So well done, you.
Thank you.
Really. So I'm curious now, because you said you were moving countries several times. You live in Czech Republic, now in Sweden. You speak all these languages. As a language coach, what do you say is the biggest barrier or obstacle that we need to overcome to become fluent in a language? You were talking about mindset. Can you tell us a bit more? What's according to your experience with your clients?
Yeah, it's all about the mindset. It's first of all, we start with identifying the why. Why do you want to learn a foreign language? And there we go really, really deep and say like, okay, what will be possible for me when I speak this language? And it's not just like going to a doctor's and buying bread. It's just like, oh, I will be able to take this course that I was always wanted to take, or I'll be able to start a business. I will have friends worldwide, and how will it make me feel? What will I experience? Like, is it expansion, freedom, joy, connection. So we're going really deep.
Being aware of why do you want to do that, because it's going to be tough, right?
Yeah.
Nobody said it's going to be tough. So you need to really remind yourself why you are doing that, so you don't quit maybe in the tough moments.
Yeah, I would love to rephrase this a little bit. So I wouldn't I wouldn't prefer to say that it would be tough, but it's just a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of commitment, right? You get to stay consistent, and you get to stay committed to your goal, and you get to take certain steps towards that goal. So in order to stay committed, and you get to understand why you do this. Because otherwise brain is like, I don't understand why I have to do this. This is just too much work. I'll go and
make my life more difficult, right? Why you want to make my life more difficult? Yeah, that's totally thing. How do you think
also, when we're talking about tough, this is step number 2. And this is what I like to do. We take all the I call it limiting beliefs, like it is hard, I hate grammar, or I can never do this, and we rephrase them so they sound like something empowering instead. So rather than saying it is tough, because it's not empowering to say it is going to be tough, we say something like it is very interesting, a lot of things to learn, and I'm curious to find out how it works. Something like this. So it's empowering instead. Or my favorite was grammar. Rather than saying I hate grammar or grammar is terrible, saying something like grammar gives me confidence and freedom to express my thoughts.
Yeah, words are powerful. Totally. What we say to ourselves is important.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So how do you think travel helps us to better or more easier learn languages? Is it about the immersion, or is anything else?
How travel helps to learn languages? It can help, but simple fact of traveling does not guarantee that you're going to learn something, because you actually get to practice speaking. So when you do travel, you have a lot of opportunities to practice speaking, but you get to practice speaking. Because there is, especially if you speak English, there is still a big risk that you'll just go and speak English everywhere. And I do it myself. Like with Spanish, for example, I was in Spain last week, and I speak a little bit, but at least I can say hola and I can say gracias. But guess what? I spoke in English anyway. I was like, what the hell? Because you get to be conscious about this, and you get to make a conscious choice. Say like, no, I'm going to practice.
So you need also to have the openness and
absolutely
the proactivity to practice.
You get to actively make a choice to speak and practice speaking, because otherwise you'll just travel and you will speak English, or you will just not talk to anybody.
Can we say maybe, that travel increases your opportunities, but you need to take them?
Absolutely. Well said. Absolutely.
Yeah. Is it true that the more languages you speak, the easier it gets? It feels like it should be more confusing, right? But they say that. What do you think?
It is true. And you know why? Because I've already done it once, twice, and I've already done it 4 times. I can do it 5th time.
So it's like a system.
Because I already know I've done it. Because I already have this trust in myself. I know I can do it. On my point of view.
Gives you more confidence.
Confidence, and also foreign languages, it's like a gym for the brain. So when you're learning a new language, it's an exercise for the brain, and the more you exercise, the easier it gets. So if you go to the gym regularly, like let's say if you're good at running, you can play football, right?
Yeah.
Or if you're good at running, you can run different distances, right? Or you can play different sports where it's required for you to run. The same with languages. So if your brain practiced to study languages in general, you can learn any language.
Yeah, that's true.
Because the brain's fit.
Yeah, that's encouraging. So you said, Anastasia, you were in Spain last week.
Yeah,
Where did you go?
Barcelona.
Ah, beautiful. Did you
Yeah,
enjoy? How many days were you there?
yeah, just 2 days.
Like a weekend.
Just over a weekend, yes.
Super. I'm originally from there. What did you visit?
Ah, yeah, cool. I was in a park, Güell.
Hmm.
I've already been there a couple of times, so I've seen most of it. I love Sagrada Familia. So
Yeah,
I wanted to go to the sea, not to the beach, but to the sea. And I wanted to go to Park Güell. That's it.
beautiful. Did you go on your own?
Yes, I did.
Do you like traveling solo? Yeah.
Well, I like both. I like both, but most of the time I actually travel alone, and I already have somebody who lives there, uh, who is already my friend. So we meet there.
Yeah. What is the next plan? Where do you wanna travel next?
I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I'm open for opportunities, and I would love to explore something new. And I'm listening into myself and welcoming guidance. What is my next destination?
Yeah. Okay, Anastasia, I would love for you to share with us. You know, I'm collecting hidden gems from all around the world, and I would like if you can share with us where in your city, your region, your country, that's something that is maybe not that famous, but if we go there, we should visit. What this could be.
Yeah, so in Sweden there is a bakery. It is so good. It is so tasty, like best cinnamon buns in the city. And Sweden is famous for cinnamon and cardamom buns. It's like a special recipe. It's just with a feeling, and just this special place. I don't know how they make it, but it's different. It's so good. And they also have huge windows where you can see how they make stuff, and the atmosphere inside is so cozy. It's not cheap. There is nothing cheap in Stockholm in general, but this place is a little bit over, but it is so worth it.
What's the name?
It is called Bak, B-A-K. It's like bake, just without E, and it means bake in Swedish.
Uh-huh.
And it's not in the center, so if you want to go there, like literally, if you're a tourist, there is no way you'll find it because it's in the middle of a suburbs area,
So,
suburbial area.
so if you Google the name, we will find Google Maps will tell
Yes,
us, yeah?
yeah. So if you look for BAK, Bach, you'll find it.
Perfect. Oh my God. I'm just so hungry. I haven't had dinner today yet. I'm just, yeah, you make me be more hungry now. I will definitely check it. And if you go to Sweden, it's worth a visit.
Yes,
Thank you
absolutely.
for that. Anastasia, last but not least, if somebody wants to contact you, what would be the best way to do so?
My website, anastasialind.com.
Perfect. Good.
Uh,
Anastasia, is there anything else you want to share with us today before wrapping up?
yeah, I just wanted to say really quickly that I run workshops about learning foreign languages and a little bit about trips. So there is information on my website. So just check this out.
Perfect. We'll definitely check it out. Thank you very much for being here today, for sharing your transformational, powerful story.
Thank
And
you
for
for having me.
everybody, you're welcome. And everybody tuning in, happy and safe travels. Bye, Anastasia. Thank you.
Bye bye. Take care.